A big vote and some angry residents tonight in Virginia Beach.
That's right. City Council unanimously approved the rezoning of the Owls Creek Golf Course for a manufacturing plant. Residents in the SeaTac area want nothing to do with the plant.
Many of them spoke at tonight's meeting. Chanuher was there as people harshly criticized council's actions.
Well, David and Regina, people have many concerns about this, including traffic and environmental impacts. However, almost every single person against the plant accused council of a lack of transparency about the project, claiming they didn't even know about it until recently. They say council fast-tracked this process. One by one, people who live near the Owls Creek Golf Course in the SeaTac neighborhood addressed the Virginia Beach City Council, most against the idea of bringing a manufacturing plant to the area.
There are many already developed areas in our city with existing buildings and parking lots. Use one of these sites if we need the economic boost the proposed factory may bring. Governor
Terry McAuliffe announced Tuesday morning that Global Technical Systems is building a $55 million facility. It's expected to bring about 1,100 jobs to the area. Jobs are why Gary McCollum supports the idea. He saw it as a win when council voted unanimously to rezone the golf course in favor of building the plant.
And I believe in the long run it's going to improve the community, it's going to improve the city, and it's going to improve the state.
But people against the plant aren't thrilled about it. They feel council fast-tracked the idea without telling residents about the project.
I'm very concerned that you haven't adequately informed the citizens, many who are here and many who have created a petition very recently because they've just learned about this.
I'm not opposed to the 1,100 jobs coming to Virginia Beach. I'm opposed to the lack of transparency, the lack of knowledge of this product, this company.
The developers, though, say they were in touch with the SeaTac Civic League and notified immediate neighbors, but residents, one by one, denied that, hoping that this factory can plant roots somewhere else. All right, so it was a unanimous vote, but a few council members spoke about their concerns as well. John Moss says before they vote on the next phase of the project, he wants to know more about the plans and how the company plans to control traffic. And we should add, Mayor Will Sessoms abstained from this vote. Chanuher, 13 News Now.
The Navy says the 9th and final sailor has been disciplined for the jet fuel spill earlier this year at NAS Oceana. Today, that sailor agreed to be separated from the Navy instead of facing a court-martial. Overall, 9 service members ranging from junior enlisted sailors to senior officers were punished after 94,000 gallons of jet fuel leaked at the base back in May. A Navy investigation put the blame on human error because a switch was left in the wrong position.
A man was shot during the dinner hour in Chesapeake. Police are trying to figure out what happened. It happened just after 6:30 on Wingfield Avenue near Indian River Road. We are told a man was shot, but we do not know how seriously he was injured. Police have not released any additional information about a possible motive or suspect.
Tonight, a 12-year-old girl is fighting for her life. 13 News Now was live on the scene earlier today after reports of a shooting inside a home in Hampton.
According to police, an 18-year-old is responsible for the shooting, but it appears this was an accident. Robert Boyd has more.
Well, earlier today, I spoke with the next-door neighbors who live right next to that house where the shooting occurred, and they say they walked outside to find their 12-year-old neighbor, a little girl, lying on the front walk, receiving medical attention, and then being put in the back of an ambulance. And right now, this whole community is praying for her.
Yeah, this is sad. I'm surprised it happened over there.
A shooting inside this home on Lagar Drive has left a 12-year-old girl in critical condition and neighbors in disbelief.
12-year-old could lose her life. Yeah, I saw her laying on the sidewalk with a gunshot head to the, shot to the head. But that's all I know.
Hampton police say the 12-year-old was with an 18-year-old man inside the house Tuesday afternoon. They say the 18-year-old was handling a gun when it went off, striking the girl.
You know how sometimes you just want to turn around and go back in the house, but I just was standing here because I wanted to know if I could help with something. And you know how policemen are, back away, we got this.
Neighbor Paulette Edwards didn't hear the shot, but she did see police and paramedics arrive on scene.
I did see when they lifted her up that she had the bandage around her head and stuff. That's all I can tell you.
Police don't believe the teen intended to shoot the girl, but he could still face charges. Police say just calling it an accident isn't good enough.
Anytime there's a shooting, I don't really want to, label it accidental. I mean, you have to actually pull the trigger. I don't know what the intent was. That's why we have investigators that are speaking with the individual that they are speaking to now.
Police spent hours searching the outside of the home for evidence. They are still investigating who owns the gun and the relationship between the victim and the shooter. I did speak briefly with this 12-year-old girl's family off camera. They said they were on their way to the hospital, and right now they're just asking for their privacy. In Hampton, Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
New charges tonight for the Mexican man acquitted of murder in the death of a woman at the San Francisco Pier. Federal authorities have charged Jose Zarate with immigration and gun violations. Just last week, a jury acquitted him of murder and assault in the shooting death of Kate Steinle. The jury did convict him for possession of a firearm. That conviction carries a maximum sentence of 3 years in jail. Zarate had been deported several times before that shooting in 2015.
More desperate pleas from the family of Kiera and Chloe Johnson. The Hampton mother and baby disappeared 7 months ago. Family members, including Kiera Johnson's twin sister, are begging for anyone with information to come forward. They say Kiera and her baby were headed to Buckrow Beach in April when they disappeared. Kiera's car was later found in Newport News. Kiera's twin sister says it is hard to talk about it.
I just don't, because it's like I'm giving a part of me up, and I already did it. Because they need to be with their family. So please help us.
Police have not released many details about their investigation, but they say they are leaving no stone unturned. They have put up a $25,000 reward for information leading to the missing mother and child.
The 11-year-old girl who was reported missing last night in Virginia Beach has been found and returned home. Search teams combed Penelope Corbett's neighborhood after no one saw her for many hours. Police say she was found sometime before midnight. That 12-hour standoff we told you about near Old Dominion University is over. The fugitive, 20-year-old Alpha Kamara, is in custody tonight. Overnight, marshals went into a home and found him hiding in an attic under some insulation. U.S. Marshals arrested Kamara on a gun charge related to drug trafficking. He's not facing additional charges after the standoff. Kamara is being transferred to Alexandria, where he'll face a judge on Friday. He's from Northern Virginia, and it's unclear how he ended up in Norfolk.
Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore is getting more support in the final few days of his race, even as he fights allegations of sexual misconduct. Former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon appeared at a rally with Moore tonight. Moore is also getting support from President Trump. ABC's Serena Marshall has the story.
Roy Moore standing side by side with Breitbart chairman Steve Bannon.
You know, this has been a long and enduring campaign. Been very intense, but we've got 6 days left.
The campaign rally bringing back the man considered one of the architects of President Trump's campaign and who helped Moore cinch the Republican primary, telling the crowd the vote was a referendum on the Trump agenda.
They want to take your voice away.
Bannon's trip to the state comes with just 1 week left until Election Day, a day after the president officially endorsed Moore and the same day the president predicted.
I think he's going to do very well. We don't want to have a liberal Democrat in Alabama.
Following the president's support, the RNC reversing course, now throwing resources behind the embattled Alabama Senate candidate. But even with the glowing support from the White House, Moore continues to face allegations of sexual misconduct or inappropriate behavior from at least 8 women while they were teenagers and he was in his 30s.
But I now know for sure that he is a liar.
Tonight, Bannon claimed those allegations untrue.
If they can destroy Roy Moore, they can destroy you.
If Moore wins, he's still not in the clear.
If he were to be elected, he would immediately have an ethics committee case, and the committee would take a look at the situation and give us advice.
While some GOP senators say they will leave it to the voters of Alabama, Arizona Republican Jeff Flake going a step further, cutting a check for Moore's Democratic challenger, tweeting simply, "country over party."
Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.